The Impact of the Printing Press on Society from 1440 to 1638 by Joseph Vincent. The invention of the printing press impacted development, culture, economy, and religion in Europe from 1440 to 1638. The printing press has three historical importance of factors, including mass production, effect on culture and religion, and reduction of errors from copying books. A printing press was able to mass produce books and text in great quality and quantity, which was not able to be done at the time, as copyists had to meticulously write out and copy every single word and every single letter on a piece of paper from a different piece of paper. And sometimes they would have errors, which isn't very good because over time those errors can go over to another copyist book and create more errors. The printing press effects on culture was that the printing press was able to unite people with a more common language, such as Latin or German, as before this, there was not really one united language that people could speak or read. And to read books that weren't translated into your language, you might have to learn that language to read the book. Another thing about culture, the impact of the printing press on society from 1440 to 1638 by Joseph Vincent. The invention of the printing press impacted development, culture, economy, and religion in Europe from 1440 to 1638. The printing religion is important as the printing press affected religion specifically by allowing to print more Bibles at a higher rate and mass produce them to distribute them. The mere fact that a single emendation by a great scholar can now be circulated in thousands of copies without the danger of a copyist's error signified a complete revolution in the conditions of activity of the learned world. The printing press helped religion in such a great way that it was never seen before. Specifically, in one example, the printing press helped the Protestant Reformation by allowing Martin Luther to translate the Bible into German from Latin. If the Bible had not been translated into German, less people in German speaking areas would have joined the Protestant Reformation, and we could have possibly seen a different outcome for the Western world if there was no printing press. And if there was no printing press, there possibly could have not been a Protestant Reformation. Martin Luther also created thousands and thousands of Bibles that were distributed to people. The printing press helped fuel religion. One main effect of the printing press on an economy was newspapers. Almost every major city inside of Europe had a printing press that was creating newspapers. Newspapers brought in a lot of money and were cheap and easy to produce from the printing press. Newspapers might have been the only source of information for some around the time period of the printing press, which is very valuable to an economy. As if you only have one source of information, you would want to get that only. Newspapers also tie into culture as they let locals of a city know what is going on. The printing press in government is very interesting as governments use the printing press for propaganda and control. A government would put their propaganda into newspapers of a large city, as I stated earlier, to influence people's ideas. by influencing people's ideas, they could control how they think and how they act. A government could also use propaganda against other. My presentation relates to one big idea from this course: beliefs and culture. It relates to beliefs and culture as I have gone over the main points of the printing press of culture and religion. The printing press greatly affected culture and it shifted the way people consumed information. The printing press also greatly affected religion as it helped the Protestant Reformation. So, why is the printing press important, anyways? The printing press changed the way that information was consumed. It changed the way that books were produced and copied over. It helped fuel the Protestant Reformation, and it created a new economic industry. All of these points are somewhat revolutionary altogether, and they are very important in their own sense. In conclusion, did I learn anything unexpected? I learned a lot about the printing press that I did not know before. I didn't know much about the Protestant Reformation and how much the printing press affected it. I would have thought it wouldn't have done too much about it, but as I learned and researched it, my sources, one of my sources, told me that the printing press actually led most of the Protestant Reformation, as without massively producing translated versions of Bibles into German, the Protestant Reformation wouldn't have been the same. How does this project inform me moving forward? It helps me actually a lot. I know a lot more how to write a good essay as I'm a dual student right now. So I'm still in high school taking a college class. It helps me a lot with writing an essay, as before this, I didn't really outline too much, and I wrote a good outline, I think, and it really helped me stay on track and write better. And lastly, what was my favorite or least favorite part about this project? Favorite part was probably just writing the paper and making this presentation. And my least favorite part was definitely finding good enough sources. I couldn't find the best sources on Google. Uh, Websites. I couldn't find websites. I found one website, but m- almost all of my sources on my paper are books, which isn't bad, but they're very long books, and I had to read a lot. But finding those books in the first place was also kind of hard. But that's about it. Thank you. Here is my references that I've used in this slideshow.